Welcome to Manny's TV Talk, where we will talk about all of our favorite reality TV shows and news surrounding them. Grab a snack, a drink, and get comfortable because this starts now. Hello everybody, welcome back. Today we're going to be talking about the new episode of The Real Housewives of Miami. That's season 6, episode 13.
I just want to go home and take a bath and go to bed.
You guys, it's getting a little ugly.
Can you say Guerdy? I'm sorry. Stop. Can you say that?
Look.
Petty little thing. That's you.
So we started the episode seeing the women start to get ready for their trip to Mexico City. As we learned last week, the Virgin of Guadalupe, the main saint of Mexico, is very important to Alexia. It was so heartfelt seeing her and Frankie write a letter to her for Alexia to take when she gets there to Mexico. We see Guerdy get ready, and Nicole is like at a flooring decor store where they sell flooring. She's with Anthony. Nicole will be going to the trip, but on a separate plane, and it'll be about a day later because she has a real job, so she works at a hospital. She couldn't get anyone to cover her shift. So then the other ladies get on that plane and they arrive at Mexico. I was so excited that they're in my heritage country. Everyone is so happy to be there. They get on the Sprinter. Guerdy shares some news. So the good news is that she has no more cancerous cells, but she will be needing to get chemo. So it's like a good news, but the chemo is the bad part. But Guerdy is ready to enjoy this trip because the chemo will be after, so she wants to make the most out of this cast trip. They arrive at the fabulous hotel. They first go to Alexia's room where they have some drinks and food waiting for them. So they are eating. They're sitting down. Alexia's telling them all of the activities that they will be doing throughout their time here. One of them involves a performance by Adriana. Adriana is very excited that Emilio Estefan pulled through. He got his contacts and was able to manage a little gig for Adriana. So then Larsa says that she also wants them to go see how they make her tequila. Larsa says she really wants them to go see the process of like the bottles being made and all of that. But then Larsa kind of has a bone to pick with Alexia, but it's something that happened last year. So last year, Alexia had told Larsa that every time they go to an event that Larsa throws, it's always about to promote a business or some deal that she just did. So Larsa now, a year later, is saying that hurt her feelings. Alexia's like, okay, well, I'm sorry. She kind of gives her a hug, but Larsa kept going. She says, y'all don't understand that I don't have a Todd in my life. I'm actually on my own. So that makes Alexia mad. She says, like, y'all don't know what Todd does or doesn't provide for me. Don't knock me down. Alexia says, Larsa, you relied on Scotty for decades. But Larsa was going off. She gets up. She screams at her. That was them, but I'm alone now. I've had to provide for myself, just for me. It was so weird. Like the outburst, I'm not saying I agree or disagree with what she's saying, but it just seemed like out of nowhere. Marysol says, well, we all work at the end of the day. But they kept arguing like a lot. And these two, Alexia and Larsa, they won't shut up. They'll keep screaming and yelling and arguing because none of them are willing to, lose. Alexia says, don't bring Todd into this. Larsa says, I'm saying that Todd is a blessing to you. And Alexia says, no, you're doing it as a dig. You're trying to say that he only gives me money. Meanwhile, Marysol was dying. I don't know if it was too hot or what. She was on the couch. She was passing out. The funny part is that Adriana and Julia were helping her, the two who don't really like her. So after that drama, they go to their rooms. Then Adriana takes Julia and Kiki to a rehearsal for the performance that she will be giving. This is going to be Adriana's only practice. She will be performing in front of 100,000 people. So we see her and the other two women go, and it was fun seeing that process. But Adriana is definitely going to need a lot of things to catch up on because it's a whole routine with a lot of dancers. Meanwhile, the others are going for a walk around the city, and shout out to Guerdy, whose Spanish is like on point. Her accent is spot on. Alexia and Larsa they just dropped the argument from earlier. It's whatever. Then they go to a panaderia, a bakery, to buy cakes for Kiki and Julia. I guess it was their birthday. It was recently or it's gonna be soon or something, but that's what they're getting. Then they take some selfies, and Larsa says that she and Marcus have each other's passcodes. So she's asking Lisa if she has Jodi's password. Lisa's like, no, like that's a little bit too much. Then they go on a little bit more of a walk, and Lisa shares some details and some updates on her legal battles with Lenny. So essentially, she says that Lenny is unpredictable and a flip flopper. He will talk to Lisa like privately, and he will promise things, but then like the next day or so, he will go with his lawyers and like change everything that he promised to Lisa. So right now, one of the possibilities of a settlement, like a deal, is that he would build a house on a teardown so that she could keep it, but there's still more to be determined, especially with so much like changing from day to day. So it is later that day, it's nighttime by now, and the girls are getting ready for dinner. Kiki goes to Guerdy's room. And Kiki tells her that, well, first she says how the rehearsal went with Adriana. She says that she is a little afraid for Adriana. Hopefully she can pull the routine. But there's something Kiki needs to tell Guerdy. So on their way to the rehearsal, Julia shared with them something that just popped up in her phone, which was an interview or some podcast where basically Larsa said that Guerdy was, had fake tears or something like that. Something to that effect. And Guerdy is surprised and blindsided because, of course, they had their issue, but she thought they were okay right now. I mean, they were okay today. You know, they had a great time going for a walk and stuff. So she's pissed, and she's definitely going to bring this up later. Then they go down. Marysol was the first one there. I loved how like she was talking to the bartender. You know, she is fluent in Spanish, so that's always cool. So Larsa comes down and quickly says that, you know, today was a lot for her with Alexia because all she really wants is for people to support her in what she does. So Kiki says, well, she is a little triggered now by listening to this because last week Larsa bailed on her at that after party she had planned. Remember, all of them left except Adriana and Julia. So Larsa's response is that she was on antibiotics and that she will buy her a present. Oh my gosh, like wow. Everyone else is making their way down. They're having a little bit of a drink, but then Alexia tells them that they're going to go to a gallery where they will be having dinner. So it's like a food and art mix that sounded pretty cool. So they get on the sprinter, then they start talking about like who is a freaking bed. They start talking about kinks. Lisa says that like she kind of likes it when other women flirt with her man just a little bit. Obviously not to the point where he's gonna cheat like Lenny did, but just like a little competition kind of turns her on. Larsa says that she doesn't really worry about other girls. So then Julia, oh my gosh, Julia is so messy, but she does it in such a slick and smooth way with a smile on her face. I gotta give props to Julia. So she says, well, Larsa, were you not like mad when Marcus was grabbing a woman's butt? And Larsa's like, no, you know, we weren't even together. I don't even care. We didn't start dating at that time. But they actually showed the receipts of like when she said they started dating and when this news came out. And it was around that time. So Larsa was definitely lying on that. So then they get to the place that Alexia has for them. And Alexia's definition of art and gallery was not what anybody thought. So they enter a place with like shirtless men who had Playboy bunny masks on, and like all the women are going crazy. And then they walk into another room where there is art on the walls, but like the lights are dim. There's like a weird neon blue light, a lot of other men. It's like unique type of art. Again, not your typical art. And then the artist who paints those paintings that were up there started to explain the meaning and motivation behind his art. Then he started to bring out the food, and they're all kind of weirded out by the food choice. Alexia says that she planned the menu, but it was a little crazy. So then Larsa proposes a game, truth or drink. Everybody knows what that is. You either answer the question or you take a sip of your drink. So they each ask each other truth or drinks, and after it starts with like some fun ones. For example, Kiki was dared to flirt with the waiter. Alexia asks Adriana about some of her fantasies, sexual fantasies. But then Guerdy goes. She asks Larsa, truth or drink. Larsa says truth, and Guerdy asks, is it true you brought up fake tears that I apparently I produce fake tears? And Larsa says, well, yeah, because, you know, you call me fake and blah, blah, blah. So then this becomes a screaming match. The sad part, and kind of the disgusting part, is that Larsa is never able to apologize. She's always holding on to stuff and is so combative. And you gotta be a whole other level of slow if you are screaming to a lady who had cancer and is gonna go through chemo soon. What is wrong with Larsa? As they fight, then some random guy starts to play a piano. Some other naked male bunnies came out and danced. It was weird. I felt uncomfortable, honestly. I really did by the whole thing. But that was the end of the episode. And then next week, we're going to get that fight with Lisa and Kiki. So that's going to be crazy. But yeah, you guys, this was a good episode. A little crazy, a little, all over the place. But I feel like that's how Miami always is. They're always son unas locas. But yeah, you guys, let me know what you thought about this episode. Most importantly, what you think about Larsa and Guerdy. So please don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll catch y'all next time. You have a great one. Bye.